What's up, goodies? Welcome back to my channel and to my kitchen, How to Cook. And today we are making Jamaican Easter bun recipe in the kitchen, fast, easy and simple. Make sure you subscribe, goodie, if you have not, and turn on the post notifications so you won't miss any other upload. And for all of my returning goodie, who don't know say, when a girl love when a ready for cook, come on, let's cook. Alright, goodies, let's dive right into everything that you will need to make this mean Jamaican authentic bun recipe, okay? My way. Alright, the first thing that you will need, you're going to need 2 eggs. Now I'm using large eggs here, okay? Now I'm also going to be using a lemon. Not only are you going to be using the juice of the lemon, but you also are going to need this zest of the lemon. So you're going to need lemon for sure for the recipe. Now to that you need brown sugar. You're going to need also all-purpose flour. I'm using a Malta. This one is called Maltin, but it's Malta, okay? Now if you don't want to use the Malta like I am doing here, of course you can use Dragon Stout or Guinness Stout. Any one of that will work, but for me, whenever I'm making bun like this one, I always go for a Malta, right? Now you're going to need cherries, of course. Also going to need some raisins in the back here. I'm using the Sun-Made raisins. Also going to add some fruits. Now this is what makes it so authentic. This is the Caribbean Farmers Market one. I love this, you guys. It is so nice. You could find this in the farmers market like I did, or any supermarket that is close to you, okay? This is one that I bought for mine. Very nice. It's not too sweet because I like it just right. Now in addition to that, right, I'm going to add some wine to mine. Now use whatever kind of wine that you have. All right, you could use, when I say any wine, any kind of wine that you have, you could use it. Now if you're going to have children who's eating this bun, you may want to skip the wine and just go ahead and add extra Malta to that. Just substitute out the wine for extra Malta, right? And if you're going to have children who's eating the bun also, you don't want to add Guinness and Dragon Stout to it. Just use the Malta. Now, besides the wine, to flavor it up, you're going to need vanilla, baking powder right there, cinnamon powder, salt, of course. I'm also going to add nutmeg to it, a little bit of honey. This is brown in here in the back. I did say salt already. Now, as far as jelly is concerned, I'm using the strawberry one, but Mama always use guava jelly, but I'm not have guava jelly right now. Use whatever kind of a jelly that you have will work. This is strawberry preserve. It's gonna work just perfect, and you'll see. Now I'm choosing also to use unsalted butter for the recipe. Sweet unsalted butter, sweet cream actually, unsalted butter. This is definitely optional. Use whatever kind of butter that you have in your kitchen. It will work, okay? You don't have to use unsalted butter like I'm using here. Use whatever you have. However, this recipe definitely calls for butter, okay? So that is all. I will definitely list all the amounts of what I'm using. That will be in the description box, along with everything what I'm using here and the amount. So make sure that you guys are checking the description box, so that way you'll get this recipe right the first time. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's recipe. Alright, goodies, let's cook. Now we're going to start off with our eggs. We're using 2 large eggs here, and the first thing you want to do is make sure that you remove the eye of the egg, alright? So you're going to take that out. Next thing you want to do after you've removed the eye of the egg, you want to go ahead and give your egg a good mix. Beat up those eggs really well, okay? Make sure to say all the yolk in the egg is well beat up smoothly and thoroughly, just like I'm doing here, right? Next thing you want to do after you have accomplished that step, you're going to go in with your lemon. Now I'm using a large lemon here. Of course, I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze the lemon into the egg mix and give it a good mix, just like so. And when you have accomplished that step, you want to go ahead and set this aside. This is the first thing you need to do. Now, the next thing you're going to do is get a pot here. Make sure that your fire's at a medium heat. You're going to put your Malta in, or your Dragon Stout, or your Guinness Stout, or whatever you choose to use. And then I did use unsalted butter right here. Add it into that. And then I did add the strawberry jam and the honey. Next, I added the wine into it and the brown sugar. I'm using organic cane sugar here. And then you want to go in and give it a good mix, just like so. Again, with your fire at a medium heat. Do not boil the mixture, okay? Because if you boil the mixture, your egg is going to get very lumpy in there. So once you start to add the egg mix in, you mix thoroughly. Make sure that you're mixing or swifting or whatever you want to call it, but just make sure that you're doing this when you add the egg in there, right? You don't want to see any lumps and crumbs of eggs into this. And again, your fire is at a medium heat, and you're not looking to boil the mixture here. All you're doing is warming the mixture, just like so. Perfect. I did turn the fire off here and cover it up and let it sit and wait until I am done with my dry ingredients. Now for my dry ingredients, I added my all-purpose flour, cinnamon powder, nutmeg, baking powder. I added some salt also, and give it a good swift here. Just sift it up, and so that way you don't have any lumps in your bun, okay? You want to be sure that you do this method. You don't want to skip this method. Now y'all, when you get to this step, right, just be sure that you turn on your oven, because for bun, when you're baking bun or cake such as Jamaican rum cake for Christmas, you want to be sure that you put this in a preheated oven, okay? Don't skip that step. Make sure your oven nice and hot and ready before you actually pop this in. So I like to turn on my oven when I'm at this step. All right, so now that everything is in, I just want to make sure that I mix it all through again, just in case anything came through in lumps and clumps. All right, then I want to take out about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the mix into another container and add the dry fruits in. Okay, so you add your fruits in here, all of that, and you add the raisins and you add the cherries all into the container here. And for some of you guys, you may ask, what does that do? It helps it to not sink into the mix when you bake it, okay? It will be all over in the bun and not just into one area. So that's what you do to achieve that. All right, so you go ahead and you mix everything in thoroughly with your flour mix, just like so. Perfect. And then you sit it aside because you're going to need it really sooner than later. Just go ahead and sit it aside. Now, if you're making bun recipe for the first time, trust me, this is the perfect recipe for you to try. You will not be disappointed with this one. You're going to get it right the first time. All right, so as far as the flour is concerned here, your flour mix, you want to make a little tunnel, all right, little hollow something, and then you just throw the mixture in, but don't pour all of it in at once. Pour some of it, half first, and then the other half later. When you add the first pour, you'll notice that it starts to kind of swell. That is what you want. If it doesn't kind of have a reflex to it, then you might have done something wrong with your mixture, such as this one, okay? Make sure that it's warm and not hot, not to be too hot. If it's too hot, then your bun is going to be tough, okay, you guys? So make sure you follow the step thoroughly. All right, so this is what it needs to look like. Not too runny and definitely not overly thick, because again, your bun will either one, be too dry, and or two, be too tough, okay? So you want it to look like this, then you go back in and add this. Okay, so this is going to do exactly what it needs to do, and then make sure that you add the lemon zest. Now you guys, if you don't have lemon zest, just add orange zest. It works just fine. I've done it with orange zest too, and it come out really perfect. Okay, so go ahead, and what does that is take away the taste of the egg. So just make sure you add a little bit of that to it. Okay, now as far as your bun color is, I like my bun a little dark, you guys. All right, but if you don't like your bun too dark, just adjust your color choice. But for me, I like mine a little bit on the dark end, so I never like to give the amount of the browning that I really use when I'm doing this, but make it your own. Okay, all right, so now it's time to get our baking container ready, y'all. I did not have a large container. This is all that I have at hand. And so when I did pour in the mixture, I did have a little bit left over, but just be sure that if you're going to make this recipe with the amount that I'll be listed in the description of the video, make sure to have a bigger one than this. Okay, all right, I think this is about a 12 about a 12 foot. Yeah, all right, so pour that in. I did add some parchment paper in the bottom so it doesn't stick. And then I did go in and add some of the fruits on top, and I did go in and also add some of the cherries also on top. Okay, just like so, right on the top. If you add your fruits on top and it sinks immediately in the bottom, that means it's definitely too soft and runny. Okay, this is how it needs to look and nothing less. You're going to pop it in the oven, your preheated oven. And make it bake. Okay, everything about this recipe will be in the description. Now y'all, the remainder that I told you guys that I had left over, I did make some cupcakes with it, and trust me, honey, goodie, them little cupcakes out was off the chain good. Okay, I just sprayed it up with my non-stick cooking spray, and just pour the rest of the batter in here and pop it in the oven and allowed it to bake. I did sprinkle also some of the fruits on there on top, you know, so it wouldn't be lonely or whatever, and pop it in the oven and just let it do what it needed to do. Okay, and the house is smelling amazing. Now when I was done, this is what my Jamaican authentic Easter bun looks like. Y'all, let me tell you something. My husband was standing there waiting for the bun to get out of the oven. He was like, he wants to eat it hot. OMG, y'all. Make sure you put some butter on top of it though, because the butter is going to soften the top pretty much. And another thing, the longer you have this bun sitting, is the better it's going to taste. Okay, the texture is going to be much softer, and everything just comes together after, say, maybe a day or two, if it lasts that long in your house. I did go and add some butter on the muffin ones also, and oh, these things was so good, so good. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. These were so divine, and so tasty, full of flavor. And again, goodie, make sure that you are checking in the description of the video so you'll see exactly how much did I use, what did I use, and the amount that you will use for the recipe. Okay, as you can see how spongy it is, nice and soft. And just by looking at this video, you guys, my mouth is running all over again. Okay, look how perfect that paper slides right off, and look at the bottom portion. Look how smooth that is. No burns, no nothing. This thing was cooked, or let's just say this thing was baked to perfection. Look at the top of that. Perfect, you guys, perfect. And like I said, mine was still kind of warm, and so because my husband would not wait, and I did not want to cut into it too much. He was a very impatient. Okay, but I wanted to make sure that you guys saw what it looks like on the inside right there. Perfect. Okay, perfect. I did go in and add some cheese just to let you guys see how it looks perfect with the cheese on there. But baby, good in. Talk about authentic, talk about filled with nothing but flavor. This recipe is excellent for beginners. Just like I told you guys before, if you have never made Easter bun before, this is a recipe that you need to follow, okay? Look at how beautiful that looks. Nice and soft. I had to bite into this so that you guys could actually see what these look like. If these little ones look like this, can you imagine how the bun come out? Look at that. Perfect, you guys. Absolutely, positively perfect. You have to try this recipe, okay? Perfect, you guys. Filled with flavor, just the right amount of sweetness, and of course you could adjust your sweetener of choice, but overall yummy. Okay, with the cheese, baby, yummy. All right, make sure, Goodie, that you are spreading the love. Bring a friend and tell a friend. Goodie, bring them come, man, and send them come, because why? I'm waiting. And when you get done doing all of that, tell me where you want to see me cook next in my kitchen. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy.